If I tell you not to follow me, it ain't because I hate you. Kiddo. I just don't want you feel disappointed. When seeing the truth. It is better to walk in light than to dance in darkness. Time puts everything in its proper place, and whatever is misplaced is already on the way to where it belongs. Don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. The truth is usually left for us to hunt and gather independently if we are so inclined. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward. Life equals running, and when we stop running, maybe that's how we'll know life is finally finished. I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people. Mostly, the world sees you the way you see yourself. The beauty of the world has two edges, one of laughter, one of anguish, cutting the heart asunder. The timing of your struggle depends on how resistant you are to your molding. Employ your time in improving yourself by other men's writings, so that you shall come easily by what others have labored hard for. The true delight is in the finding out rather than in the knowing. Beauty is about being comfortable in your own skin. It's about knowing and accepting who you are. Learning to believe you are magnificent, and gradually to discover that you are not magnificent. Enough labor for one human life. Every team has its weakness, and every team has its strength. You don't need to understand what the world is. Just let your life flow with it and become something. A desire not to butt into other people's business is at least 80% of all human wisdom. When something can be read without effort, great effort has gone into its writing. Not how the world is, but that it is the mystery. You make the world a better place by making daily improvements to become the best version of yourself. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. To pay attention, this is our endless and proper work. You will do foolish things, but do them with enthusiasm. Fame, you'll be famous as can be, with everyone watching you win on TV, except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. The universe doesn't give you what you want in your mind. It gives you what you demand with your actions. Find the things that matter, and hold on to them, and fight for them, and refuse to let them go. Choose your steps wisely, because your footprints may be followed by others. You will never follow your own inner voice until you clear up the doubts in your mind. The more you believed in yourself, the more you could trust yourself. The more you trust yourself, the less you compare yourself to others. Focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Focus on your character, not your reputation. Focus on your blessings, not your misfortunes. Talent is helpful in writing, but guts are absolutely essential. Emulate good behavior that when you encounter people from your past, you won't have to hide yourself away. Don't only practice your art, but force your way into its secrets, for it and knowledge can raise men to the divine. Success will be within your reach only when you start reaching out for it. You see, the deaf have an intimacy with silence. It's there in their dreams. My eyes were glued on life, and they were full of tears. War had bled color from everything, leaving nothing but a storm of gray. Everything will turn out right. The world is built on that. There are few reasons for telling the truth, but for lying the number is infinite. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. The truth cuts like the sharpest knife I've ever known. Don't degrade people because of their current situation in life. The tide might change, and you may find yourself in the same position. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. Celebrate true friends. They are a part of you that always sparkles. The simple things are also the most extraordinary things, and only the wise can see them. There is nothing in this world so hard to get at as truth, and there is nothing in this world but truth that I care for. One mistake does not have to rule a person's entire life. Serious thinkers are few, and the world is ruled by crude ideas. The most total opposite of pleasure is not pain but boredom, for we are willing to risk pain to make a boring life interesting. Maybe you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Firework. My fear was not of death itself, but a death without meaning. Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. Life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. In the end, Lex should have stuck to his lies, for it was the truth he almost told that killed him. Though all men be equally frail before the world, the differences between them are terrifying. It has shown me that everything is illuminated in the light of the past. It is always along the side of us, on the inside, looking out. We have to know the truth about the past to discover our future. Sometimes you have to take 2 steps back to take 10 forward. Some choose to influence change, and some choose to be influenced by change. You choose which one are you. Price of peace could only be valued by people who had suffered loss in the war. Man's naked form belongs to no particular moment in history. It is eternal and can be looked upon with joy by the people of all ages. Almost anyone can be an author. The business is to collect money and fame from this state of being. This is a wonderful day. I have never seen this one before. When one tugs at a single thing in nature, he finds it attached to the rest of the world. Properly practiced, knitting soothes the troubled spirit, and it doesn't hurt the untroubled spirit either. The storm stops at the door. Love reigns, peace dwells. Everything existing in the universe is the fruit of chance and necessity. How hurtful it can be to deny one's true self and live a life of lies just to appease others. Future generations will remember me not for sitting on that chair, but for getting up when the time came. Nothing factual that I write or say will be as truthful as my fiction. Life might take you down different roads, but each of you gets to decide which one to take. The inner revolution will not be televised or sold on the internet. It must take place within one's own mind and heart. When you don't create things, you become defined by your taste rather than ability. Your tastes only narrow and exclude people. So create. Small is the number of them that see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. We often think of failure as a negative experience, but it can teach us so much if we are open to learning from it. The moment a little boy is concerned with which is a jay and which is a sparrow, he can no longer see the birds or hear them sing. You must be the best judge of your own happiness. People have boldness to criticize but not to sensitize. We live for our time, we do the deeds that change our world today. We are the people of the present, and now is what we say. A man's concern, even his despair, over the worthwhileness of life is an existential distress, but by no means a mental disease. There is more to life than simply increasing its speed. I believe that words are strong, that they can overwhelm what we fear when fear seems more awful than life is good. You're where you are right now because of the actions you've taken, or maybe the inaction you've taken. If you can't feel gratitude when you are in need, the feeling of the need would never leave you even if it is fulfilled. Change your life today. Don't gamble on the future, act now, without delay. Travel brings wisdom only to the wise. It renders the ignorant more ignorant than ever. Sometimes it's not enough to know what things mean. Sometimes you have to know what things don't mean. When there are many worlds, you can choose the one you walk into each day. At the heart of nature's mystery lies another mystery. Behind every beautiful thing, there's some kind of pain. You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can always choose how you respond to it. Darkness ages faster than you'd think. It doesn't loiter on forever. All shall be done, but it may be harder than you think. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Suffering is part of our training program for becoming wise. Tell people the hammered truth, and it will ring like steel against an anvil. The topic of compassion is not at all religious business. It is important to know it is human business. It is a question of human survival. We have been called to heal wounds, to unite what has fallen apart, and to bring home those who have lost their way.